What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Officer Show. Today we're looking at some Hasbro Star Wars Deluxe Black Series figures. So these are some figures we've had sitting around for a while and just decided to finally get around to open them. So first up, we have two Target exclusive packs of Mandalorian with Grogu from different scenes from the seasons of the Mandalorian. So from season 1, we have Mando and Grogu from Arvala 7, where he battles with the Mudhorn to get the egg. So pretty cool. We have that pack, of course, of Mando and Grogu. And then from season 2 and from Maldo, Kreis, we have Mando and Grogu. So Mando's now more of his Beskar armor, and of course Grogu's there eating one of the eggs. It comes with the big creepy snow spider thing, so both of those look really cool. Of course, they're just Mando and Grogu, so there's not a lot to look at each one because, you know, two of the exact same sets of figures, but just come with some additional stuff. But then later in season 2, we have the Dark Trooper, which looks cool, so the big robot trooper guy, that looks pretty awesome there as well. So I'm excited to check all these out, so let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with the Arvala 7 set. Of course, that comes with a Mando and a Grogu, and then different accessories for the scenes from the show. So this took place in Season 1, Episode 2, and this was part of the storyline where the Jawas required Mando to bring them a Mudhorn egg in return for the parts for his ship that they stole off the Razor Crest. So Mando goes and fights the Mudhorn home, and during the fight, the Mudhorn starts destroying Mando until Grogu comes to life, I guess you'd say, and uses the Force to lift up the Mudhorn while Mando stabs it and is able to get the egg for the Jawas and get the pieces back for a ship. So we have this Mando where he's all covered in the mud, since of course he's fighting the Mudhorn, and his chest plate is even all destroyed, so we'll look at that more. And then of course we have Grogu and the little pram that he's got, the little floating thing, and like it's got the clear base, so it looks like it's just floating there next to Mando, which is pretty cool. And we have Grogu with his hand out, so we'll look at that in a second. We'll start with Mando first. So of course this is Mando from season 1, so the only real Beskar he's got is his helmet. Everything else is just sort of like fake, I guess, Mandalorian armor. And as I said, he's covered in mud, so you can see his helmet's all covered in mud, and I like how it's got like this texture design to it. It's all over the visor as well, and then his chest plate's falling off, so you can start to see some like mechanics and stuff under there. But I like how it's all dented with some like the metal, you know, folding inward, and it's just all destroyed and sort of off to the side there, hanging off, so that's cool. And he's got mud everywhere else, so his hands are covered in mud, his legs are all covered in mud, and just sort of mud splattered all over him. But of course, it is just another Mando figure, so we've had multiple of these, and we'll see 2 of them today, so there's not going to be a whole lot of difference, so we'll just do the one now, and then it'll fit, of course, for both of them. So his head and the helmet twist all the way around. He can look down that far and up that far, so just a little back and forth. The shoulders can come up. I assume the shoulder pads are a little bit soft, so they do get out of the way a little bit, so up to 90, and it has the butterfly joint back and forth, and of course can rotate all the way around. We get the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with the rotation, as well as the wrist that can twist all the way around and flex up and down for this hand. Then we get to the ab crunch, so right under here, so under the chest plate, so can crunch back and forth and twist around a little. Of course, you have to worry about the strap, so don't want to damage that, especially with this piece that's sort of like hooked on it, so got to be careful with that. It can twist around and rock. Then we get hips that can come up a little and out to the side, pretty far out there, and a thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, not too bad. Then we get the foot that flex back and forth and can twist side to side. So as I said, that'll be the exact same with both the Mandos, but overall not too bad. Like, he has pretty good movements. Just some like double elbow joints would probably be about the only thing that could improve this figure, but overall I think he looks good, especially supposed to be covered in the mud. And then the figure's pretty nice as well, no issues there. But like I said, it's like all the other Mandos we've looked at, but like all the other Mandos, comes with his normal Mando stuff. So he's got his blaster, so his nice all silver blaster there with the brown handle that we can obviously put into his hands, or we can just go ahead and store into the holster. So as the little strap you have to undo there, so it sits down in the holster with the little strap you can fold back over. And then he also comes with his pulse rifle, so just the same gun. We've had his long rifle with the shock prongs, and then of course we can put this in his hand, which never seems to work well just with its overall design, but we do have the peg there that we can stick into the back, so he's got the little square cut out there that we can stick this in. Now it's usually not easy to get the gun to stick in there, but there it can stick in and hang on his back like that. So there he's got his 2 guns, and then we can go ahead and bring in Grogu. So we have Grogu again in the pram. So the pram, like I said, is just on the floating thing. It has a nice design, nice interior design. Of course, don't know how much you can see in that with the lighting, but looks pretty nice. Overall on the inside has some nice details and stuff, so they didn't really skimp out too much on it. And of course the all white with all the damage and stuff and some of the orange. But then we have little Grogu himself, so it looks pretty cute with his like burlap sack outfit, and then he's got his little head. Of course he's got his eyes closed since he's using the Force. You can see the nice like pink sort of painted inside for his ears, and then all the little hairs on top of his head, so that looks cool. He's He's got the little hands which do move, so he's got the 3 fingers there, so you can rotate him around, move a little back and forth. Same with this hand where you can rotate it around and has a little rocking back and forth. He's got the 3-toed feet under the bottom there, and then his head, yeah, can twist around a little as well, so you can sort of get him in whatever position you want. So I just usually sit him in the pram, of course, right next to Mando like this. And the final thing they come with for this pack is the egg. So they get the egg from the Mudhorn and take it back to the Jawas, and they cut it open, and it's got this egg yolk and stuff inside that they eat. So pretty gross from the show when they do it, but pretty cool. We get the egg that's all hairy and stuff. I don't know how you'd maybe try and get this in the Mando's arms, and it doesn't really have a flat spot much to sit, so he kind of just rolls over and stuff. But let's see if I can put it in his hand. So there, I just put the egg in his hands like that, so he's holding it up there, bringing it to the Jawas. Like you could probably guess, not a necessary set, just if you want to have Mando from that specific scene where he's all covered in mud and has the damaged armor with the egg and the little Grogu to go along with it. I think that's probably the coolest part, is getting the Grogu with the pram, you know, for the Black Series and stuff. I think that's maybe the only way so far. I know they are releasing an individual one, but I think so far that's the only way to get the pram for the Black Series. But overall, I think it's pretty cool, but like I said, definitely not a necessary set. And very similar, we have the Maldo Kreis set from Season 2, Episode 2, where Mando is on the run from the New Republic pilots, and he crash lands on Maldo Kreis. And he also has Frog Lady with him at the time, and she runs off to a hot spring while the Grogu starts eating some spider eggs. That gets the attention of the spiders, so all these giant spiders start chasing after them while they get back to the ship. So we get this set where Mando's now got snow all over him, so it's not completely as much, especially as the mud was, but he still has snow, you know, scattered all over him, and it is from Season 2, so he's got more of the Beskar armor all over him. And then we get Grogu as well. It's going to be the exact same Grogu, just he has some snow there on his feet, and his eyes are open this time, so we'll look at that in a second. But overall, the Mando is going to be exactly the same, just clean this time, and like I say, he's got the Beskar armor, so of course has the helmet as before, but then he's got the chest plate, the pauldron pieces, and the one pauldron that has the Mudhorn, so now they're the Mudhorn clan, the van braces on each of the arms, and the thigh guards as well. And then his outfit's, you know, much darker, so it's this dark brown color underneath with some blue details, so some blue in the center here and all the thigh pieces, and even the shin guard is blue there with some red on the other one. So overall, you see much more colors throughout this entire outfit, and then like I said, has the snow, so his helmet's got the white just painted all over it, as well as up there on his cloak and on the chest, a little bit on the thighs, going down to the boots that have the snow on it as well, with the cloak hanging down in the back with some snow on the bottom of it as well. So overall, it's nice having him here in the Beskar armor. Shows the upgrade that he's made, but actual figure wise, it's going to be the same, so we don't need to do the movements because it is going to be everything's exactly the same. But then we'll look at the Grogu, so pretty much like I said, the exact same. The hands and head move are the only thing that it does there, but like I said, just has the snow on it this time, so the snow at the bottom of his outfit is the only thing he's got there, but the hand is still up doing the force powers. But with him, he comes with the little like stand piece here that you can put him on, so it's just a little like snow bank with the egg on it that he's kind of open up and still in the thing. I wish he'd put his arm down a little bit more, so it's like he's taking the stuff out, but looks pretty cool. The spider egg, so it's just like this all really pale green color with a little bit of snow, with it opened up with like a metallic green on the inside, like a slime and stuff. So he's opening the eggs and eating all of the food. So he kept eating Frog Lady's eggs, and now he's eating the spider eggs, which gets the attention of the spiders, which we do also get a spider in the set. So we get a knobby white ice spider, as they're called, I guess, which looks really weird and creepy. Of course, I have arachnophobia, so the spider, just looking at it, is giving me chills and kind of creeps me out. But it's this all white color. It looks like a little bit of green or bluish in the camera, but he's got this big like bulb thing on the back of it that looks like all the indented stuff. Has all the creepy legs, so it's got the 8 legs, and then the mouth or whatever of the spider, so it's got the mouth with the teeth, and then I guess all the little eyes around it there around the bottom. So looks pretty creepy. Like I said, just looking at this and handling it, I'm getting chills. Like, it freaks me out so much. So we get that spider as well, and then of course for Mando we do have his gun, so we just get the same blaster and rifle. Although I believe on this one it may be hard to tell. It looks like this blaster may be a little bit darker in color, so if you can compare the two, like I said, I don't know if you can even see it in the camera. The second set one has much darker colors, so just interesting little difference between the two, but the like blasters are exactly the same. So with this, we can obviously do the same thing of putting the rifle on his back, so it sticks on the back there, but this time we'll put the gun in his hand since he's got the spider around, so he'll be trying to shoot the spider. So of course you can kind of do a little scene there where Grogu's eating the spider eggs and the other spider comes up behind him, and then we got Mando rushing in to save Grogu. So again, not a whole lot to it since it's pretty much a set just like the other one where we get a Mando and Grogu, just recreating a different scene from the second season of The Mandalorian. But it's cool that it comes with, like I said, definitely again not a necessary set at all, especially this one unless you want the ice spider for this pack. But overall, still pretty cool that they made it, you know, gives you a little bit more, but again, just reusing the same figures over and over again. And our final deluxe figure, again from The Mandalorian Season 2, but this time Episode 8, we have the Dark Trooper, which the armor was originally designed to be worn by humans, but it became a weakness, making them slow and showing vulnerable spots and stuff. So they designed this third generation that was created by the Imperial Department of Military Research as a battle droid. And then the battle droids included rocket boosters in their feet and were able to withstand a lot of damage and had extreme strength, but they were weak to lightsabers and had armor pieces, especially around the neck, that we see Mando take advantage of. So overall looks cool, just pretty much all in black. So it's this big monstrous robot that has sort of like a stormtrooper design, a little bit different, but it's still supposed to be like a stormtrooper base. But looks pretty cool, just all in black. Has a lot of droid stuff, so you can see all the like the arm joints and stuff have the droid style arms. Of course, the face there that looks, like a droid mixed with a stormtrooper, so it kind of fits in there. Has the big armor chest plate there, all black, nice shiny black armor with some little gadgets and stuff there on the front and the mechanics underneath. So overall looks pretty cool, and just messing with the figure when I took it out of the box, has really decent movements and stuff. So this overall, I don't care too much for this figure. Like, it's not like, oh, this is the coolest figure ever, but it does have a lot of good like movements and joints and just smoothness of the figure. So it's definitely a figure that stands out, especially compared to all the other figures we deal with. But let's do those movements. So his head can twist all the way around, and it can look down that far and up that far. So not too bad of movements there in the head, not the best, but not horrible. The shoulders do come out to 90 and rotate all the way around. And they do have the shoulder armor piece that the shoulder sections do move back and forth, so it kind of gets out of the way a little bit more, and even has a butterfly joint that moves back and forth. But then we have the elbow joint, so it's a single elbow joint that can move back and forth, so go all the way back and forth there. But it does have a rotation at the top of the joint as well as the bottom of the joint. And then the wrist can twist all the way around and rock back and forth, so you got to go whichever way the joints go in there. And of course it can rotate around as well, so at the actual wrist and then at the joint as well. And then we do have some ab crunch and twist here in the midsection, so it can crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. Then the hips can come up a little, you have to kind of twist out of the side to get the arm out of the way, but it can come up to 90 and then out to the side that far. There is a thigh twist in here, so right where the silver section is can twist around. Then the single knee joint that bends back that far, so it comes up about to 90, a little bit under maybe, but can go a little bit forward there as well. And again has the twist at the top and the bottom of the joint. Then we get the foot that rocks back and forth and can twist side to side. So as you can see, it doesn't have like, I'd say, the best joints ever, but it's pretty good range, especially since it can like go back and forth and has all the twists in it. But the thing you can't really tell by seeing is that it does move pretty smooth, so most of the joints are smooth. There's like a little bit like stickiness, like probably the paint design or whatever is kind of stuck, but it moves relatively easily, no issue with any stuck joints or stiffness or anything. So overall, just the function and the design stuff of this droid like figure is really good. So it kind of won me over, because like I said, I didn't really care too much for it, but just messing with the figure, I do like the function and stuff of it, so it kind of wins me over. It makes me really like it. But accessory wise, we get some hands, so we got some fist hand to go along with like the grip hands he's got. For that grip hand, we do get a gun, so we have one of the blasters that they carry, so they just carry one of the blasters around. So we have a hand here with like a trigger finger, so we can put this in. So there's the Dark Trooper with the gun, and like the rest of the body, it was easy to get the gun in his hand, so into the grip hand as well as the hand on there to hold it. So functions pretty good once again. And the final thing he comes with is some of the blast effects that go into the feet. So they have these little like ball joints on them that kind of stick in a little bit better, so you just pop them into the little holes on the bottom of the feet that like all action figures have. So you just stick them in there, and they can be flying off now like we did see in the show, so it can kind of go like that. Of course, you have to get the head to look up. It'd be better if the hands weren't in there, but they were flying through the sky like that, which was pretty cool. So awesome that we got this figure. It kind of stinks it's a deluxe, so you had to pay more for it, especially a figure like this that could be an easy army builder. But I do think overall the figure, they did a lot of good work into this, and the all shiny blackness and stuff of it works really good. So I think they carried it off, and it's a bigger figure, so we'll bring that Mando in. Again, the season 2 Mando should be a little bit bigger. I didn't realize it was going to be that close in height, so it should be a little bit bigger, but it's still cool that it is bigger than the normal action figure size of Mando and stuff, which of course the Mando fought with these guys in that episode. So overall, pretty cool to have this Dark Trooper to go along with our collection. But that's going to be it for our Star Wars Black Series Deluxe Mandalorian figures, where we got the 2 Mandalorian sets, both Target exclusive. So we have the Arvala 7 set and the Maldo Kreis set, and then we had the Dark Trooper as well, again, all from the Mandalorian series. So all these figures are pretty cool. The Mandalorians kind of stink since they're just the exact same figure, just obviously repainted and redesigned, but it's cool to get them to recreate the scenes. And then we got the Grogu with the pram and then the ice spider and stuff. So it's definitely probably not worth the set. It would just be sets if you really like those scenes or have specific items from those those sets, but otherwise they're easy to pass on. But the Dark Trooper is definitely a recommend, so if you were on the fence about it, I would highly recommend that figure at least. But let me know what you thought of these figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. But thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.